Alrighty, guys. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday to everybody out there. Hope everyone's having a great weekend so far. Hope you guys have a great day here for today. So we got ourselves some updates here in regarding to the tropics. We got ourselves actually 2 live streams I'm planning for today. First of all, this morning I'm going to do this live stream. And then this evening, I plan on doing another one for, like I said, for another update as we get more and more information in. But anyways, my friends, what's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. Let's go ahead and see who we got here for today. We got Mary, we have Mark, Tornado, we have, let's see here, Mara, sorry. Let's see here. We have Maya, a lot of names start with the M, wow. Let's see here, Kid Storm coverage, we have Rob, we have Scott, Freddie, Rich, Time to Kill, Debbie. What's up, everybody? Hope everyone's doing good. Like I said, glad to have y'all here for today. So, we are back here with another update here in terms of the tropics, y'all. So, yeah, we are watching a system out here, actually now 2 systems. I'm actually going to bring you guys over to my other screen, because this one has it up. But there's actually 2 systems that we are currently watching right now. That one actually just popped up here, right over the Cape Verde Islands here. So, it's a low overall chance for this guy. I mean, we're talking literally 20% chance formation in the next 7 days. So right now the odds are, a little low, but I do expect those to actually increase. But the one we're really watching out for is this guy. And they actually did just upgrade it actually. So now over the next 48 hours from now, so for the next 2 days from now, this system's got a 40% chance of turning into a tropical depression or a tropical storm. And throughout the 7-day period, we have a 80% chance. I did expect this thing to obviously go up in probability. This thing will pretty much certainly form out here in the Atlantic at this point. It's going to be making a pretty close call to the Lesser Antilles, and maybe even portions, of the, obviously like the Northern Caribbean here, into the Bahamas, potentially. I think the Bahamas might actually be, possibly in the path of the storm here. As we're going to look at the models, we'll definitely have to be looking out there for it overall. See, I see a slight risk in the western U.S. There is actually, yes, for severe weather today. There is actually, yep, there's a slight risk out there. They got it for Utah and Nevada. Severe threat level 2 out of 5 for today. I don't plan on doing coverage on it because there's no tornado threat, which is good. The main concern is damaging winds. That's the hail threat right there. Yeah, damaging winds is the main concern out there for today. We got ourselves a big old trough. A big old dip in the low pressure system out here, which, yeah, right in here. And it's basically a big dip in the jet stream, basically amping up those winds, as well as, overall moisture and stuff like that. So, we are definitely, like I said, we're definitely seeing the shot for, a little bit of severe weather for today. Anyways, but that's not the point of this live stream. But like I said, I just don't plan on doing coverage on that today. Because, like I said, there's no tornado threat. I don't think it's needed. I typically usually go live if there's, like, a big tornado threat or at least if the hail or the winds are significant. That's usually whenever I decide to go live for those events. But anyways, like I said, yeah, back over here at the tropics, once again, guys, we have a system that is barreling its way to the west here. I'm going to go ahead and switch you guys over here to the satellite imagery here, because we do actually have ourselves, you can actually see it here. We're going to go ahead and switch over to that here right now. Here we go. All right, here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and move you guys over here to the full screen. So this is the current satellite view. We're going to zoom in a little bit. So that big old convective plume that you see over here, basically just a big ball of thunderstorms, right there. That's the system we're watching. That's the one we're watching. Got a couple other systems out there. We got this one, we got this one, we got this one. No big impacts out of these guys, so I'm not really too worried about them. But this is the one that I'm a little concerned about. Like I said, this is the one we're actually expecting to track its way to the west here. This thing's going to continue to go to the west, and it, obviously could work its way up a little bit close to land here. It looks to be a good possibility. Like I said, we're talking, possible impacts for the Lesser Antilles. I mean, maybe even other areas here to the west is that. I mean, like, maybe even Puerto Rico, could it be impacted by this storm here? I mean, like I said, it's just something that needs to be, watched out for. But overall, that's the storm right now. It's looking a little better, actually. It's actually looking a little bit better compared to what I've been looking at here yesterday. So that's the zoomed in version of the storm right now. You can see, obviously we have a, you can see that low pressure. You can see that circulation that's ongoing there. It's kind of hard to make out for some of you guys, but it is rotating counterclockwise. And we do have ourselves, like I said, a lot of, a decent amount of thunderstorm activity associated with it, but it's kind of disorganized at the moment. You can kind of see it's kind of scattered all over the place. And that's going to actually expect to, cluster up together, and obviously, basically on goes some development here, considering, like I said, that the surface temperatures of the ocean are absolutely hot right now. For the North Atlantic, out by where the storm's at. So the storm is right in here. From here until it works its way to the west here, I mean, it basically is in a zone here that, rapid development could be a good possibility. That's if there's not any strong wind shear. That's if there's a lot of moisture available, which seems to be a good possible outcome here. Let's see here. Edward says good morning. Good morning, Edward. Hope you're doing good. Let's see here. What model is showing for the path? Travis, look at the models here in a minute. Yeah, we'll look at the models here in a second. Let's see. What's up, Aiden? Hope you're doing good, man. Glad to have you here. But anyways, so like I said, we're going to definitely need to be looking out there for that. I mean, once again, the oceans are really hot right now. Like I said, definitely is supportive alone for, that development out there. But we're going to go and work our way over to the models here, y'all. We're going to start off with the GFS model here. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to go ahead and fit that to screen here. I'm going to go ahead and change the zone to the North Atlantic. So if you guys want to follow along in time, you guys can see that on the top left. That's, current time is right here, and as well as the date. So if you guys want to watch that, go ahead and, look at that now. So as we track our way down in time here, you can see we actually got not one, but two areas, according to the GFS, that we need to monitor. That's actually that second system. Another tropical wave is expected to roll off the west coast of Africa, basically here for the 5th, so basically here the day after tomorrow. Another wave will roll its way off the western side of Africa. Could actually become, I would even say it's possible for maybe even a weak low-end tropical storm for the Cabo Verde. It could be a possibility if the thing gets its act together quick enough. It definitely could. Pick up a bit in intensity here. The main one we're watching is this guy. This is 95L, which is the one we're paying attention to. But you can see as this thing works its way to the west here, gets a little close to the Lesser Antilles, and then it picks its way up here, according to the GFS. And now this one, according to the GFS, it does get really close to the Bahamas, which could be a problem. Obviously for people that live in the Bahamas, that could be, it very well could be a hurricane at this point. And it very well could be doing rapid strengthening. But according to the model here, we do have ourselves we do have a cold front, basically a cold front sweeping down. That will help as a shield for the United States. That will likely block and reflect this storm out. That's what I think is the main probability. Like I said, obviously models are still a little unclear of what happens at that point. But I personally think that this thing will more than likely, it will definitely probably cause some impacts, I think. For the Northern Lesser Antilles out there for the Bahamas, I think the GFS is kind of on point with this one right now for what I personally believe overall. But like I said, this could eventually, if this does play out to be the case, this would still be impactful for the United States in terms of rip current issues, across the U.S. East Coast, as well as Bermuda could either directly or be indirectly impacted as well. So overall, that is, that's what this model supports here overall. Now, whenever it comes to the, whenever it comes to the wind shear and stuff like that, the wind shear does not seem to be, too much of an issue, actually. You can see how there's minimal wind shear anywhere around the storm, which, if you don't know, wind shear is what shreds apart these storms. Wind shear is not good for them. So you have these big jets of winds, basically the big jets of currents here, the jet stream. And if you get one of those jets right over the area here, for example, right in this phase, you can kind of see that there is a really large jet just to the west here. That could, obviously if it makes contact with that would shred the system apart. But it does not look like that's a problem overall, which definitely is looking, for the most part, relatively good. Now, whenever it comes to moisture, obviously indicated in the blue, that's a lot of moisture, and indicated in the brown, that's dry air. Storms obviously don't like dry air. They do not like dry air. So whenever it comes to it, as the system rolls its way forward, you can see there's a decent amount of moisture available. We've got a big, dry air blockage between these two systems we need to monitor here. But according to, the GFS here, it actually meets up with a little bit more moisture, a little bit more tropical moisture, possibly out there towards areas, of the Bahamas. Then it works its way up here, maybe picks up a little bit of strength. But this one actually has it getting launched up into areas of Nova Scotia, potentially. Like I said, obviously, this could be a possible scenario. But like I said, this is just one model. Obviously, these models are not perfect. They never will be perfect. I always mention that. But it's just an opinion according to this atmospheric model. So we'll definitely need to be monitoring that as well. Now we're going to move our way into another model. Now this is the European model. These are the two main models, the GFS and the European model we look at for tropical forecasting and just forecasting in general. Really good models. So according to the European model, it looks like obviously it's going to rapidly develop here. Not much wind shear as well, but in terms of moisture, it's a decent amount of moisture. It might have a little bit of a hiccup there as it gets near the Lesser Antilles. Obviously as it, has a little bit of dry air, but it looks like this thing rapidly strengthens. According to the European model, this thing is absolutely enormous. Turns into possibly even a major hurricane, according to the European model here. And once again, just barely skimming right by the Lesser Antilles and portions of Puerto Rico. I mean, it's going to be getting real close to those regions there. And whatever it does after that, according to the model here, it kind of just stalls at the end of the run. So it's really, really interesting. Let's see here. I'm here trying to watch, but I'm feeling horrible constantly having to look away from my screen. It says Dylan. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, dude. Hope you feel better soon. Gaming Gavin says, hi, Andrew. What's up? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. Let's see here. Did I hear cold front? Please tell me you're not joking. It's been so hot here. It's a possible scenario. Like I said, that could keep the system, abroad and help keep it away from the, help could keep it away from the, United States here. It's possible. You can kind of see here in the latest frames, towards the end of this model as well, we have this kind of low pressure system swinging down a cold front, which, would actually act as potentially a block for the system. And prevent it from going in the U.S. Like I said, it's not a ruled out scenario. I mean, obviously the models are still, not really they're not too perfect right now, because the storm is still a little far away. I mean, like I said, right now it's located right in here. That's where the storm is at now. And like I said, it has a lot of days it's going to take to get over here. At this point in time, this is September 12th, which is, 9 days from now. So obviously you can see why there's a little bit of uncertainty at the moment, because this is 9 days out at this point. But like I said, the models have actually been pretty daggone confident. Actually, just going just skimming the northern. I guess that's the Windward Islands. The northern portion, I believe, is the Windward. The leewards are the south side, and the Lesser Antilles is the whole bunch. I believe that's the geography of it. Anyways, but like I said, yeah, this thing's gonna be close, getting a really close call. Like I said, obviously the GFS model on this scenario here has it getting a little closer to the Bahamas. Has it getting a little bit more closer to the Bahamas here. Then we have ourselves the CMC model. This is another one. Now, this is kind of what I'm a little concerned about here. This is what I'm a little nervous about. So, according to the CMC model, this thing has rapid strengthening, basically right from the get-go. Just rapid strengthening. The system works its way to the west. This one actually shows a hurricane impacting the northern Lesser Antilles. Like I said, it's not an impossible scenario, and it continues to track its way to the west here. Possibly when they're towards like the southern Bahamas. Obviously, that could be an issue as well. Maybe they're towards like the Dominican Republic, just north of the Dominican Republic and Haiti. That can't be ruled out either. But like I said, it's definitely going to need to be monitored here. So it seems like most of the models, here have this guy working its way to the west, either getting real close or going right over the Lesser Antilles and getting real close to the southern Bahamas. And it seems like they track kind of a similar track to Franklin. But like I said, with Franklin, the storm remained well away from portions of the Caribbean. Or obviously, mostly away from the Caribbean here. Now, like I said, whenever it comes to, down in time here, with this system here, this one could be a little bit more different and rides a little bit more towards the, a little bit more towards those islands here. Let's go ahead and see here. Edward coming in with the support with the $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Edward. Saying still getting everything repaired and cleaned up from my microburst hit last Saturday in southeast Missouri. Wow. Well, I hope everything goes well with that, Edward. Once again, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. It's very, very sweet of you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Edward. Very, very sweet of you. You did not have to do that. Like I said, yeah, I hope that everything gets cleared away with that. So sorry to sorry to hear that happen to you. Storms can definitely be a little brutal sometimes, that's for sure. But once again, I really appreciate it, Edward. Thank you so much. But like I was saying here, yeah, like so some of the models, have this thing getting real close to the Lesser Antilles here, which, like I said, I think that could be a potential issue. And like I said, models like the HWRF have this thing getting really, really strong overall here. I mean, look at this. I'm going to show you guys infrared. Look at that. So that's according to the HWRF having another really nasty hurricane. Very, very perfect, symmetrical eye here, according to this model, which is, like I said, it looks a little aggressive, just a little bit. And like I said, I think this could be a good possibility. This thing has a shot at maybe becoming a major hurricane. Like I said, considering there's little to no wind shear at all out there. I mean, like I was explaining here, we're going to hop back over to the GFS real quickly. Let's see. We're going to work our way to the North Atlantic. But like I was saying here is that, from the point of where it's at now, so it's right in here. That's right where the storm's at right now, okay? So from the point of where it's at right now, until it gets up to right about this point, there is like no threat of wind shear issue. So what I mean by wind shear, like I said, obviously foreign winds to the system that could shred apart the storm. So obviously if you have winds that are, venting right on a hurricane, so basically strong winds that's not a part of the hurricane, shooting right at it, that will completely destabilize the system and will cause it to rip apart, which that would be, in case, a good thing, obviously, because it would, basically kill out the storm. But that does not seem to be a factor. It seems like the winds are going to be pretty weak as this thing works its way to the west, which is unfortunately not really the best scenario here. But in terms of moisture, like I was talking about here, like I said, in terms of moisture, like so obviously the blues here, the greens and blues showing, the more moisture-rich air from the surface to upper atmosphere. And of course the brown is showing more of that drier air, more of a dry air overall. And like I said, obviously, with that, there could be a little bit of dry air infiltration with the system here, but it looks like it keeps itself together for the most part, according to, like I said, the GFS models and stuff like that. But that's what I'm kind of worried about. Is it doesn't seem like there's too much holding this system back. It really does not seem like it's holding this system back too much. Which, like I said, in theory would allow for, with the current ocean water temperatures we have, the surface temperatures of the ocean are very hot, which is good for these tropical systems. They love it. They love these warm waters. And so with the warm waters, with the abundance of moisture, as well as the lack of wind shear, like I said, it looks like this thing could undergo some, quick development. I would not be surprised if this thing gets near hurricane status, if not at hurricane status, as it gets right next to the Lesser Antilles, which, obviously, if I was in the Lesser Antilles, I would be monitoring this thing very closely. Regardless if it hits directly over the Lesser Antilles. If it passes slightly to the north, which a lot of models do show that, if it does pass slightly to the north, that's going to be bringing a lot of problems, regarding surf issues. Rip currents could be a problem, which will obviously most likely even happen for, a lot of the potential Caribbean here, as well as maybe even the U.S. East Coast at some point. Because, like I said, it seems like the latest models in the far-fetched zone, like I said, obviously this is bound to change more than likely. But, with the track of the system here, oops, didn't mean to do that. So with the track of the system here, it is expected to get, possibly kicked out to sea. Like I said, it's still not a for sure thing. Obviously, I've seen a couple models actually have this thing getting a little too close to Florida to my liking. But it seems like the majority of these have basically rolling out to sea between Bermuda and the U.S. East Coast. Kind of similar to what Franklin did. But like I said, I think that could be a problem. Obviously, once again, for rip currents. Franklin caused a lot of issues with the tidal, a bunch of tidal issues, across the U.S. East Coast, because obviously such a powerful system really knocking those waves around, which, obviously pulled water away from the coast. Because, like I said, obviously you have this massive low pressure system. These things rotate counterclockwise, so you can imagine all that water just being dragged its way, basically perpendicular or parallel, parallel to the, to the shoreline, which would allow for that potential issue of rip currents and stuff like that. So that's going to be a problem potentially with this system as well. Like I said, and some models here actually show this thing getting a little bit too close to the Bahamas for my liking, the southern Bahamas. So if you have a trip for southern Bahamas, or if you're going towards the Lesser Antilles, I'd even say Puerto Rico and maybe areas like Dominican Republic and Haiti, I would consider watching it. I would consider watching this because it's going to need to be monitored. It's going to definitely need to be monitored. It looks like we could have some impacts down in time with this system out there. So, like I said, it's going to need to be watched closely. And like I said, you guys know we'll be live on it. We'll definitely be keeping you guys informed. Once again, I'm going to do another live stream tonight to make sure that you guys are, like I said, make sure that, you guys are obviously informed with all that stuff. But anyways, now, guys, we're going to hop our way over here to the overall spaghetti models. Now, this is what I wanted to show you. The models are actually doing pretty good overall for the most part. Once again, the models are, in similar agreement. You can see how the lines are, not too spread apart from each other. You got the UK X2 model that kind of goes a little bit further north than what the other ones show, but for the majority, you can see that a lot of these models are pretty daggone close to each other, which that's good agreement between the models. So obviously this thing is expected to work its way out here to the west over the next several days, which, kind of is expected, not going to lie. But according to, like, the intensity out of it, look at this. So whenever it comes to the... yeah, look at this. So according to the main spaghetti models, in terms of intensity, they go a little crazy. And like I said, you can see all models here, or most models here, have this thing easily getting it up in the Category 1 standpoint, which is, like I said, a little bit concerning. And you can see that the models just carry on with consistent strengthening. I mean, like I said, I have a really strong opinion that I believe this thing could be a major hurricane. It could be another one. It could be another similar Franklin, if not a little bit more worse. Considering, it's going to be making a little bit more closer to call the land than, what we were looking at there. Let's see here. CTC2 is weird. Let's see here. HRBI is off the juice. HFBI, you mean? FBI, open up. Anyways. Yeah, no, that one is off the charts. You're not kidding. That thing goes right up to Cat 5. No hesitation, just straight up to Cat 5. But like I said, if you take that middle point, you take that middle point here and you roll your way up here. I mean, you can see the line of best fit, the middle point ground, the middle ground there. You can see how it's just nothing but rapid intensification. Like I said, that's kind of what we're expecting here because, once again, there's a lack of wind shear. There's not much wind shear. And there's also a lot of abundance of moisture. Like I said, it could encounter maybe a little bit of problems rolling in the dry air, but it should mostly together keep its act together, according to the models. It seems like things are going to definitely be, holding up pretty good overall. So, like I said, that's just something that needs to be, watched over, for the next little bit. Let's see, depends on the area. Okay, let's see here. Dade City, better prepare for this. My family lives there. Like I said, right now we don't know if it's going to get anywhere. We don't know if it's going to make landfall in the U.S. or not. Like I said, obviously this thing is set to track its way obviously closer to the U.S. But in terms of, like I said, direct impacts, for the U.S. and stuff like that, we'll most likely feel some of the effects from this. The United States will, very likely, potentially could see the effects of this. What I mean by that is, if not a landfall in U.S. soil, even if it pulls like what the GFS is showing, we're gonna definitely feel those, rip current issues across the U.S. East Coast. That's kind of what I'm looking at there. Let's see here. Wife of Grumpy Old Marine says, "Hey, what'd I miss? What's up? Hope we're doing good, first of all." Like I said, we're watching the system here. Like I said, most of the models, we are watching, kind of get a little too close to the Lesser Antilles and portions of the Caribbean than I'd like. And obviously, most of the models have this thing kind of riding, just off the U.S. East Coast and kind of tracking, obviously to the northwest for several days now, then turning to go north at the last minute. But like I said, if it even does that track, it could obviously, first of all, put Bermuda at risk of being hit, but also, will cause, once again, rip current issues for the U.S. East Coast. That could, definitely be an issue. I definitely foresee that being an issue, with this system. And like I said, obviously due to lack of basically weakening threshold here, basically lack of, stuff to weaken the storm here, this thing could very well be a pretty powerful hurricane. As we did see in the spaghetti models, the intensity guidance there was showing it really crazy. Let's see, we're doing good. Glad to hear that. See, that tornado that touched down a couple days ago was a small, quick one. Did I see the car flip? I did. Wasn't that in South Carolina? That was from Idalia. Pretty sure. I think that's how you say the name. I'm still trying to figure out how you say that name properly. But no, it happened somewhere in South Carolina. I think near Charleston. Yep, somewhere off the coast there. was really interesting. I did see that, and I'm glad to hear that everybody was okay. And that if y'all seen that footage, I actually retweeted it on my Twitter. But yeah, no, it was crazy. It was crazy. A car got, basically turned over and fell. It didn't get completely lift off the ground, but I mean, it was close to it. It was literally like vertical. It was crazy. It basically went vertical, turned, and then fell over onto another car, I think, actually. Let's see. Lady says, could this impact Florida? I think it could. I mean, it's a possibility. Like I said, I don't think it's the more of the likelihood at right now, but Florida should watch the progression of the system. But like I said, right now, the majority of the models have this thing steering away from the U.S. last minute. You can kind of see, working its way just right over the southern Bahamas and then kind of pull into the north here. More than likely that will be the possibility, considering that, we could, it's not a for sure thing, but like I said, we could have a low pressure system that could be swinging a cold front here, which could obviously act as potential barrier here. Let's see here. So like I said, if you're in Florida, I would definitely pay attention to this here for sure, and just keep an eye on it. Once again, just to make sure that obviously, so that you're aware of the situation. Let's see here. Idalia. Oh, okay, Idalia. See, that was crazy. Goose Creek, was pregnant. I heard about that too. She didn't get a scratch, and her husband only received a minor bruise. Oh wow, I didn't know that. I thought it was just the woman there. Wow. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, I'm glad that everybody's so fine with that. But no, seriously, yeah, that was a pretty nasty storm. Once again, I'm glad we covered 7.5 hours on that storm there. Yeah, we were on that storm, y'all. We were on that storm. I hope it doesn't hit Florida or any other places. Yeah, honestly, I do as well. Like, so Florida's already got their dose of a hurricane here recently with, Idalia or Idalia, however you want to say it. It got a little close, or it did actually impact Florida. Like I said, obviously it went through, Georgia and the Carolinas and then worked its way out, started impacting areas like Bermuda. Actually, in terms of the system here, it looks like it's going to get launched basically to the north here. Getting real close to Nova Scotia here. So that could be a something to watch for those regions out there. Maybe even some small surging could still be a possibility with, a strong low pressure system like that. Yeah, definitely if you're on the coastline, I'd pay attention to it. Will this be hitting will this be heading Jacksonville? You mean Jacksonville, Florida? And like I said, we don't know if it's going to hit Florida yet. Like I said, obviously, I'm not going to completely rule it out quite yet, but I'm going to say that, you need to monitor it. You definitely need to watch out for it. Like I said, anybody in the Caribbean, I mean, really most of these regions here need to monitor this. If you live in that area, I would keep an eye on it. Because like I said, obviously most of the models, all the models have this thing remaining to the north, the Lesser Antilles. But like I said, that could put, the Lesser Antilles at risk, Puerto Rico, good portions of the Dominican Republic, Haiti, and maybe even Cuba at risk. Those regions could be impacted, by the system. So if you live across those regions, I'd watch out for it. And obviously, like I said, the U.S. East Coast is not it's not ruled out yet. I mean, like I said, this is still far out in the models. The models are not, perfect here. I mean, this is still several days. I mean, by the time it gets right next to Dominican Republic, this is for the September 11th here. That is literally, like, what, 8 days away. 8 days away from now, which is, pretty daggone crazy. But like I said, it's just definitely, it's just definitely going to be a little bit of a, a concern here for the Caribbean, and definitely we need to be looking out there for it. Will Houston, Texas get rain? At some point will. But actually, in terms of it, I don't see any main systems that's going to work its way towards you at the moment. Like I said, in terms of stuff going on right now, we actually do have a low pressure system. That's actually something I want to go ahead and show you guys real quickly. So give me 1 second. I'm going to go ahead and hop you guys over here to this view real quickly. But if we look across the portions of Texas, it's actually kind of really weird. We got a low pressure system literally just swinging its way down across Texas. We're going to go and hop you guys over to that right now. Look at this. Look at that. So there's a low pressure system located like right near Dallas, actually. Dallas is like the pivot point. You can kind of see right in this area here. Got that very obvious counterclockwise rotation to it. There's just a low pressure system just sitting there. It actually looks like it has some thunderstorm activity on it too. So there's your Landicane. There's your Landicane. Obviously, it could throw some thunderstorms out that way. I'm actually gonna hop you guys over here to the radar because on the current view, yeah, right over between Dallas and Fort Worth, we got a couple little thunder showers popping off out there. Overall, let's see here. I heard GFS was saying, or GFS now. Some are saying Euro. I look at both. Yeah, no, honestly, like I said, it's good to always take both opinions. It's never good to just focus on one model because obviously just paying attention to one model is not the most accurate thing. It's good to grab the similarities between the different models. That's the thing you got to do. Let's see, such a pretty view. It is. It's definitely a pretty view on that. Yeah, on the satellite view, it's pretty cool. I'll tell you what's even more prettier is look down here. Look on my bottom right hand side. Here, I don't know if I can make that a little big. I don't think I can. But yeah, you can see it down there. Look how blue the water is. It's beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, no, it's definitely pretty cool. Like I said, satellite view is amazing from what we can see out there. Let's see here. See, Dorian was a very scary hurricane. Oh yeah, set over the Bahamas for 48 hours. Yeah, absolutely. I said, yeah, definitely not really pretty. That's for sure. I remember that one very, very well. But anyways, like I said, yeah, no, we definitely got to monitor the progression. And like I said, right now they have an overall high risk of development here. Like I said, in the next 7 days or the next week, this thing has an 80% chance of becoming a tropical storm. Obviously, got to keep an eye on it. Let's see here. Wife of a Grumpy Marine says, bye, Andy. Have a good day. You as well. Thank you for joining. Let's see here. Bye, guys. I have to head out now. Head home now. My son's very sick. So bye. See you later, Tornado. Thank you for joining. But yeah, like I was saying, guys, overall 80% chance of formation here in the next week. So the odds are, definitely up there. Within the next 2 days here, like I said, we actually have 40% chance of, overall development. Like I said, more than likely over the next 2 days, it's not going to turn into a tropical depression or a tropical storm. But honestly, I kind of think otherwise that. Because if I go and hop you guys over here to 95L, that's the invest number for it. It looks okay. Honestly, like I said, it looks relatively fine. I mean, you can obviously tell this thing is rotating counterclockwise a bit. If you look at it, you can see some of those markers. You can see some of those lower level clouds rotating counterclockwise. Now, it's not rotating very heavily, but it is rotating a bit. Obviously, it's got that low pressure system there. Obviously, like I said, thunderstorm activity is a little scattered, as you can see. I mean, there's a lot of dry gaps in between them, which obviously that needs to, centralize to one point, but I mean, like I said, it doesn't look half bad. It does not look half bad. And like I said, over the next 2 days, I see this thing potentially, kicking up in intensity quite a bit. So, like I said, we'll just have to monitor that overall. Let's see here. I was in the eye wall of Hurricane Charlie, says Go West. Wow. I'm glad to see that you're all right from that. That's crazy. Yeah, being in the eye wall of a hurricane is definitely not the most pretty sight you'll ever see. It's definitely a little crazy, that's for sure. But anyways, yeah, no, they actually did introduce another area once again for the Cape Verde islands here. Like I said, overall low probability as of now, but I would expect that to increase because, like I said, some of the models out there, I don't think this guy would really be a big problem for the U.S. as it's expected to just remain outside the U.S. or remain out. Holy cow, the GFS goes nuts on that storm though, and look at this. This model goes crazy. So obviously we have the one we're watching now. That's this guy. That's this guy. But watch this one. Going right over the Cape Verde, maybe even as a tropical storm we were talking about. But look, this thing just goes a big turn, right even towards like Europe. You see that? That is crazy. It goes right next to Europe's coast there. Not sure exactly which country that is right here, but it gets real close to it. That is crazy. Wait a minute, hold on a second. And with this guy, apparently a strong low gets swung up there towards the UK as well here for the September 14th. But yeah, that's still not a confirmed thing. That's still not a for sure thing. Let's see. Scott says, is the United States done with major hurricanes? I wouldn't say we're done yet because we are actually not even really in peak. We're very close to the peak of hurricane season here. Looks like he's drunk driving, kind of. The Fujiwara effect, I think that's what they call it. Basically, the system's just revolving around each other. It seems like there's a big the big effect of that. Like I said, there's a lot of systems out there right now. There's a lot of them. We got this little guy up here. I think that is, let's see here. I think that one's Gert. Let's see. We actually got quite a few of them. I'm going to go and bring up the Hurricane Center real quickly for everybody. But no, we got a lot of systems popping up. Yeah, that's Gert. That's Gert out there. We got, let's see, Kada. Let's see, sustained winds of 40. Obviously, the central low of 1,005 millibars here. Gert, 998, 60. Yeah, Gert's actually a fairly decent tropical storm. Expected just to go north. No issues out of this guy overall. But yeah, it's definitely, you know, packing a punch out there. It really is. Let's see. In terms of Gert here, oh wow, looks like it's dealing with some upper level winds. Yeah, you guys can see that. So that's what I'm talking about with wind shear, guys. That's what I'm talking about. So the low pressure system is actually right here. You can see how it's, you know, spinning counterclockwise, right? But look at this. If you look closely, we have a big, strong upper level jet stream. You see all that wind just going right towards the storm. And that's basically blowing the tops of the storms over further to the southwest. So obviously that's basically lodging the central low being away from the thunderstorm activity, which basically just, you know, messes up the system. So overall, you know, due to these strong winds, I guarantee the storm is weakening now, considering, you know, just how the storms, they don't do very well with upper level winds. They really don't do very well. Let's see here. Hurricane season is expected to be worse this year. Yeah, y'all stock up. Yeah, especially for, like I said, an El Nino year. Typically, El Nino years aren't as crazy due to increased wind shear, which in some cases you can see that. But for the most part, you know, like I said, for the most part there, like I said, forecasted to still be above normal. You know, still be above normal. 2020 was absolutely crazy above normal. You know, really deep La Nina for 2020. But anyways, but like, yeah, like I was saying, yeah, Gert's not doing very well. A lot of strong upper level winds are definitely getting to its convection there. Basically lodging that convection away from the center of the cyclone. So it's definitely having a bit of a hard time. And like I said, I do expect this thing to just continue to, you know, weaken for the most part overall. And like I said, obviously the models have this thing actually fading out very quickly. So that's it right there. And you can see it does not last very long. It's actually getting, whoa, I just realized, it's actually getting caught up into Idalia here. You see that? So this is the remains of Idalia up here. It's actually getting, here, I'm going to make this a little bigger for you guys. It's actually getting, like, lodged. The Fujiwara effect. I don't know exactly how you say that either. But like I said, you can see it's just rotating around each other. It's like orbiting. It's like a vortice on a tornado. You know, how vortices, you know, wrap around the main circulation. It's just basic, you know, fluid dynamics and stuff like that. It's pretty cool. But yeah, no, it's just wrapping around itself here. You know, it's just a big vortice. You got the main circulation, which is the remains of Idalia that impacted Florida and Georgia and the Carolinas, which is right here, like I said, just east of Bermuda now. And Gert's just going to be wrapped around the system and just kind of ripped apart by those winds. Let's see here. This year, so they come off Africa one after the next. Yeah, that's what the one that we're watching for now is doing. Once again, that's 95L that we're paying attention to. If I go ahead and grab the main Atlantic view, you can actually see here that, like I said, there's a system we're monitoring here. I'm actually going to zoom in a bit more for you guys so you can see a little better. There we go. So that's the system we need to watch. This guy right here. This big old ball of thunderstorms. Yeah, just the other day, this thing just ran off the west coast of Africa, tracked its way to the west here. Like I said, obviously model projections have it doing something kind of like this, potentially. Obviously tracking west, going very close, if not over the Lesser Antilles. Very, very close to, obviously, Puerto Rico as well. Dominican Republic, maybe even Haiti. Portions of Cuba maybe even impacted. Obviously, the Bahamas should watch it as well. Like I said, really, just a lot of the Caribbean islands need to monitor this here. And like I said, even for portions of, you know, like the southeast U.S. coast, I think should watch it. And like I said, it's not a for sure thing. I mean, there's not really too many model supports that has this thing going right over land. Because for the most part, like I said, these models have a low pressure system positioned somewhere up in Canada, knocking down a cold front, pushing all that air away, or pushing it, you know, to the east here, which in theory, if this thing holds out, basically could just keep this thing off the U.S. East Coast. But regardless, like I was talking about before here, is the fact that, you know, say if this thing does take that approach and does work its way out here to, back out here to sea, once again, this will be a big problem for the U.S. coastline still because of, you know, rip current concerns and all that stuff. So you want to stay out of the waters. Same thing what Franklin did. Franklin was a big problem for rip currents and all that stuff. I think that's kind of the main concern I see. So either, it looks like some impacts for the U.S. will probably be felt with this system. Like I said, regardless, I mean, that's if it for some reason does make landfall in the U.S., obviously you'll feel it. But like I said, once again, if it goes way out to sea, we'll still feel it on the coastlines, but obviously it won't be as crazy as if it makes direct U.S. landfall or anything. We had 3 hurricanes the year Charlie hit. I was so tired of them by the end. Oh, I hear you. No, I get it. One's enough, really. I mean, but dealing with them over and over again, yeah, no, it's not the best. It's not the best, especially in Florida, where you rely on AC because it gets really hot in Florida. Get those power outages and it's out for weeks sometimes, which is not fun. Not fun. Haven't personally experienced it, but, I hear it's not the best. I know Florida's heat. I've been in Florida quite a few times, and without AC, that would be miserable. That would be very miserable. So overall, yeah, that is that is kind of a bit of a problem with that. But yeah, let's hope it doesn't come towards the U.S. Except right now, there's really no forecast models that supports it. I mean, it is a little too far out, though. I will say that it is a little too far out to determine that still. Because like I said, right now, from what we're pretty confident on is that this thing's going to be getting very close, if not going over the Lesser Antilles and stuff like that. Let's see here. My grandson's really into weather. He's been learning a lot more than I could retain in my brain. So proud of him. Well, there you go. That's awesome. Yeah, tell him to keep at it. That's awesome. It's always good to have young weather enthusiasts, That's really, really cool. But like I said, obviously out here we have another storm we're watching out here as well. Overall, 20% chance of formation. Right now it's pretty low, but the models do have this thing kind of picking up here. I think I didn't look at the European model for this system though. Let's see here. Yeah, that's something I did not look at. ECMWF. Yeah, let's actually drop back and run. Yeah, no, it shows. Yeah, the European model has this thing kicking off actually. The GFS and the European model has this thing, going right there near the Cabo Verde. Like I said, it even looks like this thing could potentially be a, maybe even be a tropical storm as it gets near Cabo Verde. Both the GFS and the European ECMWF show that actually. Yep, there's the GFS here, going right next to it. Potentially as a tropical storm. So, yeah, no, like I said, it definitely looks like it's gonna happen here. Like I said, so I do expect those probabilities to increase there overall over the next couple of days. But in terms of what we need to watch, we need to just monitor this guy right now, 95L. The only one I'm concerned about at the moment. Yeah, the only one I'm concerned about at the moment. We do have another system that's going to brew out in the Pacific, but it's going to remain its way. No harm. It's going to run into some cooler waters and then just fade out. It's not going to cause really any issues at all. Quite a large system, though, according to the GFS. Look how large that low pressure is. Oh, my gosh. Look at the size of that thing. That thing is huge. That is a massive, massive cyclone. Look at the size of Texas. You see that? That's the size of Texas, according to... Dude, that storm's like bigger than Texas. Holy cow. Yeah, that is definitely interesting. Let's see here. Everyone have a fun, interesting. I'm off to run errands. All right, sounds good. Have a good day. Let's see. But that is, yeah, that's crazy. Looks like 2 little eyeballs here. Looks like it's making a scary boo face there. So anyways, but yeah, no, that's really crazy. The amount of moisture that's available is probably why this thing's so massive. Yeah, it looks like, oh yeah, it looks like there's a lot of moisture across the EPAC and it just grabs all of it. So you got a scary face. Yep. Look at that. Looks like a screaming face there. That's funny. That's funny. But like I said, yeah, this one's probably not going to cause any issues. There have been tropical cyclones that have been that big. Oh yeah, Sandy. Sandy was a big one, probably about that size as well. You had Typhoon Tip. Tip was a big one, I'm pretty sure as well. I think Typhoon Tip was the biggest tropical system that we've ever seen. Pretty sure it's up there, that's for sure. But yeah, no, they can get really big. They can definitely get real big. Yeah, Sandy was probably the most memorable one. For the U.S. East Coast. I mean, this thing just completely engulfed the U.S. East Coast in rain and all kinds of trouble. No, it was... I remember Sandy. Sandy was not not that nice of a storm here. But in terms of this guy, you know, it looks like it's supposed to remain around the same size as you know, Adalia was. So kind of a normal tropical system. Pete Walton says hello or good morning, Andrew. Well, good morning. Hope you're doing good, Pete. Let's see here. Kala says just got out of church. What's up, Kala? Hope you're doing good. Glad to have you here. Yeah, like I said, we need to watch out for actually 2 systems now. Like I said, we have this guy right here, and we have this guy. This one's the one we need to watch because it's going to get real close to some get real close, if not go over land here. But this guy over here, I'm not worried about because, you know, it's just supposed to do some funky stuff and remain out to sea here. This one right here on the right-hand side, I'm not concerned about it because, you know, what it looks like is there's some high pressure. It's going to be built in this region here. Just going to kind of knock it away more than likely. So, yeah, I ain't worried about this one. But this one I'm a little skeptical for. I'm a little interested in that one. You know, because like I said, the models have this thing getting real close to the Caribbean. Real close. Let's see. Kala says doing good, Mr. Andrew. Glad to hear it, Kala. Glad to hear it. Anyways, but yeah. Well, guys, we're going to wrap this up here pretty soon. Like I said, we basically already covered most of it. If y'all have any questions, yeah, feel free to let us know before we head off. Once again, we're going to be doing another live stream tonight, okay? We're going to do another one tonight, probably around 9 o'clock, about 12 hours from now. Or actually, at this point, it'll be 11 hours. So, yeah, we'll do another one right around 9 o'clock or so, I'm thinking, in terms of... you know, in terms of another update, well, fresh models were coming through, all of that stuff. So basically, from here on out, I'm going to be doing 2 updates a day, one in the morning, one in the one in the evening, one in the morning, one in the evening. That way, there's a pretty big gap between, so people can get morning updates, people can get late updates, and that gives time for the models to pick up on some more, you know, ideas of what potentially could happen. I'm going to work on my winter forecast today too. Like I said, I'm a busy day. I'm going to be literally, I'm going to be focusing on my YouTube today. I know you guys have been wanting my winter forecast. I know, I'm getting to it. I've just been so absolutely busy lately, you guys. You know, between the tropics with, you know, landfall, Idalia the other day, Idalia, however everyone say it. Between the tropics, I mean, between family. My brother actually came down yesterday. I was spending some time with him. That's why I wasn't able to stream yesterday. And then, of course, there was... like I said, you know, like I'm moving soon, so I'm getting things together for that. I've just been so stressed out, so busy lately. But today I got some time on my hands, so I'll work on the winter forecast. No guarantees I'll get it done today, but I will work on it a bit. You know, the graphics and stuff I'm probably going to do today. I'm going to make the graphics, and then I'm going to make the video probably tomorrow. And it probably won't be out here. I'd say, if I was to give it a date, I'd say September 5th is when I should have it out. Should be out by September 5th, so... which is in 2 days. So expect it soon. Expect it soon, because I'm working on it. But like I said, we'll just make sure to keep y'all. Oh, I'll keep you guys updated with it. I'll let you guys know, you know, when it's gonna come out and stuff. Let's see. Edward says thank you. You're very welcome, and thank you once again, not Andy. Edward, thank you so much for supporting the channel earlier. Greatly appreciated. Means a lot, Edward. I literally called you Andy. I'm sorry. Whenever I get to rambling, it just I speak faster than I can think, essentially sometimes. Let's see here. So Renity says thank you, Andrew. You're very welcome. You're very welcome, my friends. Like I said, if you guys have any final questions before we roll off here this morning, let me know. Like I said, we'll be here for you guys. What's up, Court? Glad to have you here. But like I said, if you guys have any questions, you know, like I said, feel free to let us know. We'll be here for you guys. But like I said, yeah, we definitely got to watch out for the tropics. You know, once again, I'd be paying attention there for, you know, obviously Lesser Antilles, you know, Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, Haiti, maybe Cuba, and even the Bahamas. I mean, like I said, Florida should probably watch this too. Like I said, the models are, you know, it's still far out for now, so there is still a shot this thing could, you know, in some cases, could work its way out there towards Florida. Like I said, most of the models, though, don't have that happening. Once again, most of the models have this thing just kind of kicking its way back out to sea, which I firmly believe. I don't think this thing will make a direct landfall in Florida, from what I see right now anyways. But like I said, from point A, which is right here, to point B, that is like 9 days away. So it's going to be a while by the time it gets there. So there's a lot that can change and stuff like that. So overall, that is, you know, that is overall what we're looking at. But, all right, well, you guys, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. Once again, we'll catch you guys later on today, you know, with the, with another live stream for you guys. We'll make sure to keep you guys informed and obviously aware of the tropics and stuff like that. Once again, I'll be doing another live stream tonight. Once again, maybe right around right around 9 o'clock or so. But all right, well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your night. We're gonna go and hop over here to the ending screen. Like I said, once again, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much. Once again, big shout out goes to Edward. Thank you so much, Edward, for the $5 super chat earlier today. Greatly appreciate it. Very sweet of you. I really appreciate it. And like I said, if you guys could, if you've not already, consider hitting that subscribe button, leave a like, guys. It'd be greatly appreciated. It helps out the channel, and it will be much appreciated. But anyways, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Stream's gonna head off here in 2 minutes. So if you want to go ahead and say goodbye to your friends and family, anybody in the chat, go ahead and say your goodbyes now. Like I said, we'll meet up again later today. So it's not all for the day, but just for now, for the morning update, we talked about everything we need to talk about for now. But all right, well, you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Y'all be safe out there. Have a good day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll catch you guys later on. All right, y'all, take care, and we'll see you guys later on. Peace out, my friends.